The Little Prince. There was once a little prince who lived on an asteroid, which was just as small as a house. It was called B612. He believed that he had to take care of his asteroid. The asteroid's most prominent feature were three tiny volcanoes, of which two were active and one extinct, and some baobab trees, whose roots he cut regularly as they could split his asteroid to pieces. One day, a seed mysteriously bloomed into a beautiful flower. The little prince was thrilled and decided to call it a rose. He also watered it regularly and covered it with glass globe, especially at night, to protect it from the wind, the cold, and the caterpillars. The little prince loved the rose dearly, and the rose blossomed under his care. But the rose took up too much of his time and attention. So the little prince decided he needed some new friends. So he left the rose on his asteroid and began a trip around the universe. He traveled to different asteroids and planets. The first place he stopped was on a planet. There he met a king who had no subjects. The king was thrilled to see the little prince and began ordering him to do odd works around his kingdom. He was happy he had found at least one person to call his subject. However, the little prince was not used to taking orders, so he quickly left the planet saying, "Friends don't give orders." As he continued his journey, he landed on the next planet. There he found a very well dressed man who did not do any work. All the man wanted was for the little prince to admire him continuously. The little prince decided that friendship could not be based only on admiration, so he immediately left that planet. The next planet was very small. There he met a lamplighter who spent all his time lighting and extinguishing the two lamps on his planet. A full day there lasted only a minute, and the man was tired, running from one end to the another every 30 seconds. He had no time to do anything else, let alone become friends with the little prince. The little prince felt sorry for him. He realized there would be no point in befriending someone who would not have time even to speak. Traveling to the next planet, the little prince met an old man who had many books. Curious, he went to the man and said, "Hello, what are these books about?"
Hello, little boy. These books are about geography. I am a geographer and I like to read and write about rivers, mountains, and deserts. Why don't you tell me about your asteroid so I can write about it too?
The little prince was excited and told the geographer about the volcanoes, the baobab trees, and of course his rose.
How wonderful,
Said the geographer.
but I can only write about things that last forever. I will write about the volcanoes and trees, but not about your rose.
The little prince was sad, as he had never thought earlier that his rose was not eternal. Since the geographer showed no interest in his rose, the little prince decided to leave the planet. Now, every planet the little prince visited made him realize how much he missed his little asteroid. Finally, the little prince arrived on a planet called Earth. Since he landed in the desert, he believed that the earth was uninhabited. He walked along and met a snake who told him that earth was a large place and that no human lived in the desert. The little prince walked along and saw a whole row of roses. Now he was sad because he thought that his rose was unique. He was so sad that he lay down on the grass and wept. Just then, a fox came that way and asked the little prince why he was crying. "I don't have friends. Will you be my friend?" he asked the fox. "Oh, alright, but only if you tame me," the fox replied. The little prince was intrigued. He did not know what tame meant and asked the fox. The fox explained, "By being tamed, someone can go from being ordinary to being special and unique. But there are drawbacks since the connection can lead to sadness and longing when apart." Now the little prince realized that his rose was indeed unique and special because it was the object of his love and time. He had tamed it. and now it was more precious than all the other roses he had seen near the desert. Before departing from there, the fox told the little prince a secret. Remember, my little prince, important things can only be seen with the heart, not the eyes. When the little prince thought about the fox's word, he realized how precious his rose was to him and longed to return home. My rose needs me, said the little prince, who had once returned to his asteroid with the rose, the volcanoes, and the baobab trees. He carried his beautiful rose in his arms, held it close to his heart, and hugged it. He then said, You are my friend, and I will be with you forever.